Quake!
Look at this! It's...
Oh, it just looks like a fan.
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out,
Exactly.
able to produce endless salt.
Finally, after all that effort, I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10...
Hey! How can you...
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss One.
Of course, as we agreed.
Since we have a contract...
Then let's move on, shall...
Solidify! I will have order! Rise!
Just a simple ruler.
This... If I remember...
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued... When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt. Much the deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear.
What? That's even better than the salt chap?
Well then, according to our
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition, and this girl has been useless.
Oh boy, here we go again.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin, let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I?
Because you agreed to a Rex Lapis once said, ones who break their contracts
That is one of your Liyue gods.
will suffer the wrath of the rock.
Quake! Stabilize! Order guide you!
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue.
Oh, darn you!
Some archaeological survey? Yeah!
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, when people see the object of their dreams, I think we should be honest with each other.
Huh?
That in truth, not a single member of this archaeological expedition.
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple... You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl...
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos.
Oh, right!
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. We hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue after all. So I seek proof of Morax's guilt. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must judge this history fairly.
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liu, come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead.
Crumble! Quake! Rise! Stabilize! Solidify! Solidify! This is order. Quake! Rise!
This is... Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the God of Salt had to fight back. The power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the Salt. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power.
It does look like something like...
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are 2 separate relics. According to the contract, you can only claim one.
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true.
Yes, but the only one object per claim clause still holds true. You
This logic!
Zhongli, she seems...
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the
No! If I only take 1/2, then it can't be repaired. And no matter what, I must be faithful to her. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't care.
So you are already decided?
Zhongli!
That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the wrath.
That's okay. The God of... Punish me however you want. Just let me take...
No, you can't hit her!
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. As punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you shall be your... I'm afraid to say that the God of Salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her to be. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Tevat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start. However, during such a long war, after making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only...
No! It can't be so.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade?
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to tell—
As I said before, I only state the facts.
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax! Don't try to trick me!
Hey! Hey! Come back!
Indeed. Otherwise, why would I use the truth as punishment? I did not want to tell her such cruel facts. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I fear, we will find something that will leave her no choice but to face.
Are these statue thingies running? What will we find ahead?
Salt. And betrayal.
What are all these? What did they see? What did they do? What happened?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back then. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen in time to this very day. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but the Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat.
But what about—
No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength of mortal coils to bear. Those who could not flee were thus transformed. Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue, where they sought refuge with Rex Lapis. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror, so they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword and offer up obeisances in hopes that her anger might be appeased. But they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted, even till the end, nurse hatred for her people in her heart?
Even if this is so, this must be a lie. A false history, all of it! Don't you dare try to shake my faith!
Yikes. Zhongli didn't—
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not call it a bad thing. Judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately, simply recognizing the truth is good enough for now. No, indeed. How sharp faith in a god who has already passed will do you no good. So it is for Havria. And so it is for more. All right then. Now,
Huh? What—
treading old ground, one cannot help but be reminded of old acquaintances.